now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
Muslim Brotherhood.
I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements: ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that democracy is haram. Now I say participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets, but the ballot.
Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn, and it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants the Sharia.
Because in the United States, what we do know is that in the past election, just this last election, there have been over 800 Muslim candidates running for office.
We may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only James Williams, Dog Waters, and I'm back. And I have been saying this. I was saying it this morning when I was showing you Islam versus the world. I have been saying this. I have been saying this. I have been saying this because it's blatantly obvious what's going on. And when I told you that we were dealing with 3 heads of a dragon that were coming against the United States of America. The 3-headed dragon being, let me get them all on the screen. Wish there was a way to see myself on the screen. The 3-headed dragon being Islam, LGBT, and wokeism. And if you notice, you just had a woke kid shoot up ICE facility yesterday. Then if I'm not mistaken, today, or was that yesterday as well? Let me go back and look and see. 5 hours ago. Then today you had, or yesterday you had 3 Muslims shoot a coach at a baseball field in Texas. Now, the craziest thing about this shooting in Texas is when you post all the narratives that the news media is covering it from, it's so deceitful. Let me zoom in. So you can see it. Now, let me play the news clip first. It's easy if I play the news clip so you can hear the BS they're talking. And then we'll come back to the narrative. Give me a second. I want you to listen to how this is portrayed to you as an American citizen. And understand the media is your enemy.
It happened at the Rack Katie Sports Complex, sending parents and coaches running for cover. Troy Class has more of the story.
The Rack Katie is here in the middle of a rural part of Waller County where coaches say they heard gunfire all weekend. Then on Sunday, bullets started flying through the baseball fields. Teams from across Southeast Texas were gathered for this tournament, including the Houston Warriors, a Warriors coach wounded in the shooting.
He literally took the bullet for a child that was to his left. And so thankfully, we avoided a major disaster. Still very, very emotional over it.
Team founder Andy Bays wasn't at the field, but says his coach was engaged in a pregame prayer with his team when the bullets started flying. An online stream captures the gunshots.
When he was struck by the bullet, his first reaction was to get down to the ground, cover his kids, and get them to a safe space.
Today, the Waller County Sheriff's Office says investigators have identified 3 suspects who allegedly fired guns from a nearby pasture in the direction of the field. The Rack Katie stating on Facebook, 3 individuals were target practicing 600 to 700 yards away, though they were not using a nearby gun range. Bays says the coach was taken to the hospital via a helicopter.
All right, so we got 3 individuals who doing target practice. But yeah, the target was the children. The target was the team. And I said this the other day. I said, man, they've already activated the woke people. They've already activated LGBTQ. The next thing they're going to activate is the Muslims. And we're seeing it right now. They've activated the Muslims. Man, my camera went blurry again. Hold on one second. And so now we see the Muslims activating. That's the danger of what we're dealing with right now. You know, and the media is covering for them. Watch this. If we go look at the media, the headlines and titles of this. Remember, what you see as an American citizen, typically people read headlines and don't read articles. So it gets to the point to where people just skim the headlines for their news. This is how most people are brainwashed. Upper left-hand corner. Let's zoom in. Recreational gunfire strikes baseball coach during game, Texas officials say. Suspects charged with deadly conduct in the weekend shooting at baseball tournament in Katy, according to Waller County Sheriff's Office. Illegal hunting is blamed for gunfire that injured Texas youth baseball coach outside of Houston. 3 suspects arrested for Houston youth baseball coach shot during pregame prayer. 3 men facing felony charges for gunfire that injured baseball coach. Recreational gunfire strikes baseball coach during game. Recreational gunfire strikes baseball coach. Recreational gunfire strikes baseball coach. Recreational gunfire? Really? Now, when you look at the suspects, it's 3 Muslims. And this is how you know it's a cover-up. Imagine for a second if it was 3 Negroes, you would know all their names and all that be blasted all over the place. If it was 3 white dudes, for sure, they would be domestic terrorists and their names would be all over the place. We find ourselves in a situation where these people are going to start attacking. I said it 2 days ago. I have no doubt about it. You can look at the programming that's going on and see that everything has been unleashed. And I'll show you another reason why you can know that they're bringing everything to the table. Because Hillary Clinton came back out speaking again. And understand they're all scared. Here's Barack Hussein Obama coming out talking about Donald Trump speaking about Tylenol and Tylenol causing autism. Barack, you ain't never say a damn thing about abortion. You ain't give a damn thing up. You ain't give a damn about autism. Now that Trump and RFK Jr. come out speaking on it, now you got something to say about it. Do you guys ever recall Barack Hussein Obama talking about this? Ever? No. Only thing I remember Barack Hussein Obama contending for was the right for people like him, gay people, to get married. And when you see him come out talking like this, you know they all afraid.
So we have the spectacle of making broad claims around certain drugs and autism that have been continuously disproved, and the degree to which that undermines public health, the degree to which that can do harm to women who are pregnant, the degree to which that creates anxiety for parents who do have children who are autistic, which, by the way, itself is subject to a spectrum, and a lot of what is being trumpeted as these massive increases actually have to do with a broadening of the criteria across that spectrum so that people can actually get services and help, not to, it's all of that is violence against the truth.
This is how you know they're scared. Now, Barack is telling all the liberal ladies, you happen to be a liberal woman that happened to stumble upon this, take Barack's advice. Like all the rest of the liberal women who've been taking his advice, go ahead and take all the Tylenol. If you got a baby, pop a whole bottle of Tylenol. And find out what the rest of the crazy liberal women found out, that their livers fail and they're about to die. Go and prove Barack Hussein Obama right. He is right. Prove him right. Yeah, go and prove him right. We're not going to contend with you. We're not going to argue with you. You want to murder your baby? You want to take if there's a 1% chance that taking Tylenol during pregnancy could lead to your baby being autistic, and you want to take the 1% chance, that is your right, your body, your choice. I respect it. Take them all. But a real mother, someone who loved their child, they would take that information and say, hey, what else can I take if I find myself in pain? And they would take something else. They'll go out into the field and find some kind of herb that they can take, and they will take that herb for pain before they put their child's life at risk. But that's the problem. People like the ideology more than they love life. They love their ideas more than they love life. That's why the media is covering for the Muslims shooting a baseball coach in Texas, because they like the ideal of Muslims are good and we don't want to be Islamophobe more than they love life itself. It's the reason why you can sit there and take Tylenol and basically commit suicide, because you love the idea that you are right and someone else is wrong more than you love yourself and more than you love your child. Speaking of ideals and people who are idealistic and have these philosophies that are destructive, when this happens, ladies and gentlemen, and this is another reason why I'm going to tell you right now why the Antifa and the Muslims are being activated, is because they're targeting George Soros and Reid Hoffman, two of the most major names in the world of conspiracy ever. And before these people go down, I promise you they're going to try and burn everything. And so this is why I'm telling you right now, you need to have your head on the swivel, looking left, looking right. You know, if you got that heat, keep that heat on you. Keep it under your shirt or keep it in your waistband. I ain't saying deploy it unless it needs to be deployed. But boy, don't be caught slipping. You got your blade, keep gun. Blade and gun. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. If you're trained, you know what I'm talking about. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And I want you to be real slow, because you're going to need it. Because they're going to activate all of their armies while simultaneously probably activating World War III at the same time, because we've reached the point where the deep state should go down. We're at a pivotal point, a dangerous point where the deep state can go down. So much so that for some reason, Pete Hegseth just called a meeting of all his generals from all around the world that they all have to come back to America and go into a skiff. No online communications. You bringing your behind back home. But before we get to that, let's go to Donald J. Trump talking about George Soros.
Yeah,
just so we
go ahead. Why don't you defend? Let's see you defend them, Jeff.
No, I'm not defending anyone. I just want, so that we can just explain this in our stories. Could you name a couple?
You don't explain it right, though, Jeff. Go ahead. Let's go. Maybe let's give you another chance. Go ahead.
Antifa, Soros. What names are we talking about?
Well, Soros is a name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know, but Soros is a name that I hear. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. Somebody's a pretty rich guy, I guess, and I hear about him. I don't know. Maybe could be him. Could be a lot of people. We hear the same names. But they're bad, and we're going to find out. And if they are funding these things, they're going to have some problems, because they're agitators and they're anarchists. These are anarchists. Really bad. Okay, yeah, please. Yeah,
just so we
go ahead. Why don't you defend? Let's see.
Think about it. When has George Soros' name ever came out of the mouth of a president in conjunction with being an agitator and a bad person? Damn sure ain't come out of Barack Hussein Obama's mouth ever. Joe Biden didn't have a mouth, couldn't really talk. He was shaking invisible people's hands. Before Obama, we're talking about the Bushes. Bushes wasn't saying nothing about no damn George Soros. Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering into a dangerous phase, a dangerous time where things are very explosive. Boom, explosive. You understand what I'm saying? So buckle your damn seatbelts. I had a friend of mine call me. He's like, bro, what do you know about the 3 days of darkness? I don't know a damn thing about 3 days of darkness. He was like, well, they're saying there's going to be 3 days of darkness. I say, well, if they're going to be 3 days of darkness, then hopefully in that darkness, some people are going to get their head bust wide open. But I don't exist in no darkness, because I have the light of my Father in heaven. So I ain't worried about no damn darkness. But these people need to go down. They can go down. They don't need to be dark outside for their ass to get arrested. I don't even understand this. Oh, it's going to be 3 days of darkness. Why it's got to be dark for them to get arrested? Well, what's got to go dark for them to get locked up? I'm locked up. You won't let me out. Oh, they won't. Just go Akon on them, get them, and get it over with. Is the next thing I want to bring to your attention is what I've been saying again. Because once you tap in to the news with the Holy Spirit, once you read it and tap in with him, which this is what I show y'all every day, especially in the late night videos. I ain't did a late night video lately because we Wednesday and Thursday Bible study. By the time I'm done with Bible study, I'm wore out. So I ain't trying to stay up late and record. And I go give me some rest, and I'll give you one tomorrow night, Friday night late. I might have to just set a schedule. It might have to just be Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, because Wednesdays and Thursdays I'll be blown. I'm done. I'm drained. But Donald is saying what I've been saying, that there's going to come a point where if the people don't stop the foolishness, they're going to get met in the streets. But most people look at this and they'll say, well, we shouldn't meet them in the streets. Yeah. No, it's going to have to be a point where you meet these people in the streets. I don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. But here's where the problem comes in. You see, there's a responsibility that each man has to defend his family. So when a bunch of radical Muslims, leftists, and and I know it sounds crazy, woke and LGBT people combine to come marching down the streets, which is insane that they would ever do it. But they're already in unison in their own different ways. When they come marching down the streets to come for your children, to come for your wives, to come for your city, then men gonna have to go meet them. And Lord help those people. Lord help them. You know how they said that there was a saying that if you see me in a fair with a fight with a bear, don't help me, help the bear. Yeah. All the bears gonna need help on that day. Every bear's gonna need help. But so far right now, everybody's sitting on their hands. Donald Trump even articulates this.
Who do you hold responsible for the uptick in left-wing violence in the country?
Radical left rhetoric. The radical left is causing the problem. They're out of control. They're saying things, and they're really dumb people. I mean, I look at Crockett. I look at some of these people. They're very low IQ people, actually. But the radical left is causing this problem. Not the right, the radical left. And it's going to get worse, and ultimately it's going to go back on them. I mean, bad things happen when they play these games. And I'll give you a little clue. The right is a lot tougher than the left. But the right's not doing this. They're not doing it, and they better not get them energized, because it won't be good for the left. And I don't want to see that happen either. I'm the president of all the people. But the radical left is causing this. The radical left Democrats are causing this problem, and it gets worse. It gets worse, and it'll be a point where other people won't take it anymore, and that will not be good for the radical left. And we don't want that. Okay, thank you.
Because it's clear that it's getting to that point. And in fact, we had already reached that point, but the system that was set up prosecuted the people who went out to go meet the radical left. Remember a group called the Proud Boys? Hold on, let me find the Proud Boys knocking out Antifa for you. And they prosecuted them and let Antifa go do what the hell they wanted to do. Let me just bring you into remembrance of some of the things that were happening with the Proud Boys when it was Antifa before. And remember, Antifa has never been chin checked. This is the first time they've been designated as a terrorist organization, and now they're going to be rounded up. If they had not been designated as a terrorist organization, you would see other organizations, not the Patriot Front, not the FBI guys, but you would see other organizations where people are not hiding their face, come out and smash and grind their faces into concrete and make soup. They will make facial soup with them. Because you can't have a militant group of people running around terrorizing everybody. But let me just so you remember.
Fuck Antifa, bro. Really? Yeah, really. Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Yeah. Bring it. Bring it. Bro, you don't want none of me. You want some of me, bro?
Go ahead.
Do you? Do you want some of me?
Wait, let me get my mask on.
Get your mask on, bro. Like I need your fucking mask. You want some of me, bro? You want some of me? Go ahead.
Help! I'm being assaulted!
You want some of me, motherfucker? You want some? Bring it, dude. Bring it. Bring it, bitch. Get the fuck away from me.
I'm a...
See what I'm saying? They don't. We don't need it to get to this point. We don't need it to get to this point. Because what ends up happening is it spreads. And it gets really, really, really bad real quick. To where you coming out as Antifa in the city and then people just pull up and stomp you out. It gets extremely bad.
1% on the top.
Fuck Joe Biden!
Fuck Joe Biden! Joe Biden! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Turn it up! Bring that ass over, man. Let's go.
I remember how the Proud Boys was racist. That didn't work. Then the Proud Boys was terrorists. Then January 6th came and they arrested the leader of the Proud Boys, and the blind dude got arrested, and the little Mexican dude got arrested. Or maybe he was black because one of the leaders of the Proud Boys was black. Threw him in prison because they couldn't allow another army of civilians to rise up to meet their weak army of Antifa. The problem that they have now is if it gets out of control, it ain't finna be this Proud Boy thing. It's not going to be organized. It's going to be, they came into our city and people going to meet up and they're going to ride out and they're going to stomp them. They're just going to meet up, ride out and stomp them. They only take once. You got to understand, these are little punk kids. They might have some weapons. They might have a couple of things. But once you get to that point, everybody, when you get into a fight, you could die. And I don't think Antifa, these little spoiled rich kids, really have come to that conclusion that what you're doing is you're looking death and saying, hey, death, come from the shadow of death. They look at the shadow of death and say, hey, shadow of death, come from your doorway and come over here by me. Come on over. Come hang out with me. And death is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Don't you know if them people come out there, you're going to die? They're like, no, we won't die. The government will protect us. No, you're going to die. No, we won't die. They'll go to prison. You still going to die. You're going to be dead. They don't get it, man. They don't get it. And truthfully, here's the answer to the problem. It has to come from government. And Down will pass an executive order that I need you to listen to today because it's very important. Because this will keep people from going in the streets and cracking skulls. If the FBI does what they're supposed to do, and if Pam Bondi does what the hell she's supposed to do. Like, I'm so disappointed in that woman. I'm so disappointed in her.
Lastly, sir, this is a presidential memorandum on countering domestic terrorism and organized political violence. In recent weeks, months, and years, we've seen a tremendous upsurge in some highly visible, but also other acts of domestic terrorism and organized political violence being perpetrated by radical, politically motivated groups all over the country. What this presidential memorandum will do is set off an administration-wide response to that, ranging from the Joint Terrorism Task Forces to other components of the Department of Justice to the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Treasury. We're looking at interdicting these groups, preventing them from performing acts of violence, and also looking at sources of organization and funding and support that prop them up and allow them to do the acts that they have been doing.
We're looking at the funders of a lot of these groups, and when you see the signs, and they're all beautiful signs made professionally. These aren't your protesters that make the sign in their basement late in the evening because they really believe it. These are anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people, some of whom I know, I guess, I probably know them. And you wouldn't know it. You're at dinner with them, everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics. Steve, could you say a couple of words?
Yes, Mr. President. This is a very historic and significant day. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism. What we have seen, if you look at whether it be going back to the riots that started with Black Lives Matter and all the way through to the Antifa riots, the attacks on ICE officers, the doxing campaigns, and now the political assassinations, these are not lone, isolated events. This is part of an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. It is structured, it is sophisticated, it is well-funded, it is well-planned. There is really no parallel like this to anything else in the country right now. There is an entire system of feeder organizations that provide money, resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece. And the central hub of that effort is going to be the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, which sits inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But for those at home who are worried about terrorism in this country, they need to understand, because of President Trump's strength, because of his vision, because of his leadership, we are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations root and branch. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump and his leadership.
Thank you. Steve Cash, please.
Yes, as Steve was saying, Mr. President, thanks to your leadership, crime is going downward in a tremendous fashion, and that's what we want for every city in America. And the FBI's premier flagship enterprise, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, are honored to lead this initiative with our partners at Treasury and Homeland Security, because our citizens are being attacked by, as Stephen said, organized violence, and it's being paid for, not by them, by other people. So what we are going to do, combining forces as Scott and I have done in these last few months, is follow the money. People and organizations have collected funds and put them out into the streets of America and organized violence across our country. And thanks to your recognition of this and this executive order and the AG's leadership to lead out and prosecute these individuals, we are properly going to chase them down.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to hear Pam Bondi talk, and I don't want to hear Cash Patel talk. But I'll make a suggestion to you, Cash. Y'all need to live stream when y'all start raiding these people's houses. Yeah. Y'all need to take people to ride along and show that you're doing your job. Because right now, the last thing in my mind, and I know he's doing something, but what's sitting in my mind is Cash ain't did shit and Pam ain't did shit. That's what's left in my memory. And the only way you're going to change my mind about you not doing nothing is I got to see y'all do something. If I was in Cash shoes, I would put on my vest and I would ride out with my squad, and I'm kicking in doors. And I'm busting people across the head with a rifle, and I'm putting zip ties on, and I'm putting black bags on them, and I'm throwing them in the trunk. I'm doing it every day for 30 days. When the operation starts, every day for 30 days, I'm out there in them streets making it happen, and you record me make it happen. That's the only way to rehabilitate his image. And the only way to fix Pam Bondi's image at this point in time is Pam has to arrest and indict some major names. If neither one of them don't do nothing in the next 30 days, I'm telling you right now, I don't give a damn how much I like Donald Trump, and I like him a lot. I don't give a damn how much I like J.D. Vance, and I like him a lot. I like me some Stephen Miller, but them two right there, boy, everybody gonna be screaming for their heads. And you already saved Pam Bondi once from getting beheaded when it came to this Epstein stuff. Everybody was calling for her head, for her go on the guillotine, metaphorically, because then somebody would be like, oh, he threatened Pam Bondi, metaphorically, symbolically, go on the guillotine and give everybody a scalp. But man, I'm telling you, if they don't bust some move, people gonna need some scalps. Just like all this stuff about, oh, we'll get ready to indict Comey and we get ready to indict Letitia James. I don't need to hear that. I need you to do that. Don't talk about it, be about it. Once you've done it, then tell me you did it. Don't tell me before you're going to do it. Just do it and let me know it's done. You heard me? Do it and let me know it's done. Now hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. I love you. I'm going to see you on the next video.